First off, I've started by marking out what will then be a jig for my mountain dulcimer, and that's based on this plan that I got online. Okay, so far I'm trying to use an old piece of MDF that I've cut out to try and make the shape of the hourglass. Well, see how it goes. Well, it's looking a little narrower than I thought, but at the first attempt I think it's probably a good markup. Okay, here we go now. It's cutting time for the template. Okay, now about to nail two pieces together before I put them on the bandsaw. That way I can cut a top and bottom template at the same time. I'm now cutting 4 1-inch pieces that will be used to fix the template together for forming the wood around the actual dulcimer. Okay, that's the template cut out now. As you can see, I nailed 2 together just temporarily so I could cut both at the same time, top and bottom, and that will cut out on my bandsaw. And there we have both cut out, both same shape, same size. Okay, there we go, all clamped up. With little stoppers between there to give me enough height to bend the sides around. That's all this template's going to be used for. Here we have another template made now, ready for the teardrop dulcimer. This, as I said, is just really for bending the sides round to give the sides some shape. First we start with a perfectly flat surface, a little piece of skimming board to put underneath, and that will give us then a little gap underneath, which will then allow for the side to go on and be bent into shape. That's the theory. So what we shall do now is we shall get some steam going and get some clamps. Right, what I'm hoping to do now is, now that I've got the first clamp on, and that's what I'm going to use, just a common old garden, really a cooker steamer cleaner. From that I'm hoping to use the nozzle inside of there, to then just let the timber bend. So let's see how we go from this. We have steam, so here we go. A little tweak. Steam again. All over the lens. All to good effect, no doubt. Bending lovely. Another clamp. A little tweak. A little tighten. Little tighten. Little tweak. Off we go again. Another little tighten. Beautiful. Little tweak on that one. Little tweak on that one, and then back to the other side. Of course, never having tried anything like this before, I have found that that does appear to work well, although it is well worthwhile blocking the end where the steam is likely to come out. So I've just got a piece of rag and just blocked the hole, and that gives it a complete steam box. The only other problem I did have was that the extension that I was using to get the pipe to go inside the block actually overheated and came apart. So that's one thing to bear in mind. I did find it easy enough though to use it like that, blocking up the far end and just squirting it in like that, and then just going around tightening and tweaking as and when you feel it's necessary. And then the next thing is to probably leave it 24 hours. 24 hours later we have the bits taking shape. As you can see, not fully, the shape. But what I'm going to do is leave it at the moment and just proceed and see what happens. That is the back that's on there now, just cut to a rough shape and glued and obviously clamped. Give that 28, maybe 48 hours, and then that's ready to come off of there. I now have the body clamped up along with the insert, as you can see there, for the end piece. I also have the top cut out, ready. Fretboard is now cut out. That's the top there, and a little bit of a doodle on there to see what we can do about a headstock. That's the tailpiece in place, and now I'm working on the headstock. I haven't fully made my mind up yet, but I've left plenty of timber on it just to decide at a later stage how it's going to be. But definitely taking shape. Getting ever closer now. We've managed to scroll saw the headstock. Just a point to bear in mind that there I've had to put a piece in to make sure that when that's like that, in that position, when you drill, you're drilling square and not, if it was in that position, where you'd be drilling at an angle, because that's lower down and not square. That is square. And all I've done is put a wedge into there, which was a wedge that came off. All beginning to take shape now. I've put the templates on. This dulcimer is going to be called the Gambler. I've drilled partially through the holes for the diamonds, hearts and spades and clubs. Next, fret saw. So far, one diamond, one spade. The rest of the deck to go. See you soon. Here we have it now, rough cut with the patterns ready to go now, and I'll use a little Dremel multi-tool to just finish it off and smooth it all out. The headstock's now shaped and clamped into place, and then the rest of it is beginning to take shape. There's the head. There's the top, ready to go on as soon as the rest of it is glued satisfactorily into place. The Gambler. Clamped and glued either end now. So next step, I'm going to give it a sanding. before sorting out any of the next jobs I'm going to do. Now the top's clamped on. Next job, I'll be working on the fretboard. So looking forward to that. Almost finished, apart from maybe a couple of hours of varnish and rubbing down. Okay, it's all sanded down now, well, rough sanded together. Headstock now needs completing, along with the fretboard, and then who knows, a couple of coats of varnish might be finished. We'll see. Bye for now. I found some 6-a-side tuners that I'm cutting down to match, so they will go then, hopefully, nice and tidily into the headstock. Having spent time checking and rechecking fret distances, I've now started to get them in. One thing that I have definitely found useful is to put tape along the junior hacksaw. Now I've actually got it on both sides there, so it doesn't matter what side I look at it with, it should be right, and they do seem to be fitting fine. No glue, just tapped in. The frets are in, the fretboard's attached, but I'm struggling now with how to do the headstock. I don't seem to have the tuners that I would prefer to put on, but we'll see how we go. I'll keep in touch, but definitely taking shape. Fretting Mark II. So I've shaved down the fretboard there to allow this nice piece here to go on separately, because I did find with the other it did make it too thick, but putting this on separately I should now be able to organise it better. We shall see. Now this might make sense to some people, but it certainly didn't to me. I thought it was a good idea at the time, and what I used was the wooden mallet, thinking I could flatten the frets in one fell swoop, but then guess what happened? Because it doesn't hit squarely onto the fret, it wobbles over. I don't know if you can see this or not, but the edge of the mallet went and put indentations into the fretboard. So although it's done, I won't be using this one. See there, look. So I finished up with the mallet after that, with the with the rubber mallet after that. So lesson learned. Well, I'm becoming more and more pleased the more I do. The fretboard's on, the frets are in, the strum hollows there. Some of the shaping's been done towards the back end now. And no, The gambler's coming on very well. Headstock. Oh dear. This is going to be the one. I made a mistake there, but I'm going to have to sort it out. Headstock now taking shape with tuners that will probably go like that. Still not sure yet, but each day brings new ideas, so we shall see. But definitely taking shape. There she is, all strung up and ready to play. The gambler. All made from offcuts of timber, old tuners, the frets I did have to buy. But as soon as I find someone who knows how to play one of these, or even if I find someone who knows what one of these is, we'll get it played and put on YouTube. Thanks for watching. It's been a good project. Thanks for watching. It's been a good project.